The sun was going down behind the red hills of Arizona. The sky turned orange, then purple, then dark. Eli Hargrove was driving his old truck back to his ranch, the same road he had driven 1,000 times. The windows were cracked open. Dry summer air came in. The radio played something soft and old, and Eli did not really hear it. He was tired, the way a man gets tired when he has worked hard and lived alone for too long. He almost did not see her. She was at the side of the road, near a dry ditch, curled on her side in the dirt. His headlight swept across something small, and his foot moved to the brake before his mind told it to. He stopped the truck. He sat still for a second. Then he got out. She was a little girl. 9 years old, maybe 10. She was wearing a red shirt and brown sandals, and one of her sandals had come off. Her face was turned toward the ground. He could see that she was breathing, but barely. Her skin was hot when he put the back of his hand near her face. She had been out in that sun for a long time. He looked up and down the road. Nothing in either direction. No cars, no houses, no lights anywhere. Just the hills and the darkening sky. He had no cell signal. He knew that already. Out here, there was never a signal. He knelt down next to the girl. He did not move her yet. He spoke quietly so she would not be frightened. "Hey," he said. "I've got you. You're okay." She opened her eyes. They were dark brown, and even half closed and tired, they were sharp. She looked at him the way a child looks at a stranger, not trusting, but too tired to run. He had a thermos of water in the truck. He got it, opened it, and helped her sit up slowly. She drank. She coughed once, then drank more. He wrapped his spare saddle blanket around her shoulders even though the night was still warm, because she was shaking a little. Fear, he guessed. Or the shock of the heat wearing off. She said something. It was partly in English and partly in a language he did not know. But he understood enough. She had chased a dog. She had fallen. She had walked a long way and then could not walk anymore. He asked if she could tell him which way home was. She pointed east. The nearest hospital was 40 minutes in the other direction. He looked at her ankle, which was swollen but not broken, he thought. He made the decision fast and without doubt. He would take her home first. She needed her family more than she needed a hospital. A child that age needed her mother. He lifted her gently into the passenger seat and buckled her in. She did not fight him. She held the thermos in both hands and kept drinking small sips as he drove east, following her quiet directions, a turn here, a dirt road there, a gate that was left open. He did not talk much. When he did talk, he kept his voice low and steady. He told her about the stars that were coming out above them. He told her the names of the constellations, the ones his own father had taught him when he was young. He did not know if she was listening. But she did not close her eyes again, and that was what mattered. They reached the reservation after dark. He drove in slowly, headlights on low. There were people outside in the evening air, a few men near a fence, 2 women on a porch, some children playing in the dirt near a light. When they saw the truck, they went quiet. When they saw who was driving, their faces became careful. A man walked toward the truck. Eli stopped and rolled down his window. "Found this girl on the highway, about 8 miles west," Eli said. "She needs her family." The man looked at the girl. Then he looked at Eli for a long moment. "That's Naya," the man said. He turned and called back toward the houses. Within a minute, a woman came out of one of the homes and ran toward the truck. Not a panicked run, a controlled run, the run of someone who has already been afraid for hours and is now forcing herself to stay calm. She pulled the door open and looked at her daughter, and for a second her face crumpled. Then she put it back together. "Naya," she said softly in the girl's language. Then in English, "Are you hurt?" Naya pointed to her ankle and said something. The woman's hand went to the girl's face, her hair, her arms, checking everything at once the way mothers do. Eli stepped out of the truck and stood a little away, giving them space. He did not feel like he needed to be thanked. He just wanted to see that the girl was going to be all right. The woman looked up at him. Her name was Clara Runningwater. She was tall and had a calm face that held a lot behind it, the kind of face that had seen hard things and decided not to be broken by them. Her eyes were the same dark brown as her daughter's. "Thank you," she said. It was simple. No extra words. "She walked a long way," Eli said. "She's strong." Clara almost smiled. "She always has been." An older man came forward then, silver-haired, deliberate in the way he moved, and said that Eli should stay until they were sure the girl was fine. It was not really a question. Eli understood that it was a matter of doing the right thing by their tradition, so he nodded and parked the truck properly. He sat on the wooden steps of the porch while Clara took Naya inside. People drifted back to what they had been doing. The night insects started their sounds. Someone brought him a cup of water without speaking to him, set it on the step beside him, and walked away. He drank it. Clara came back out after a while and sat down on the porch in the chair near the steps. She had a quiet way of doing things, no wasted movement, no performance. She folded her hands in her lap and looked out at the dark. "Her ankle is not broken," she said. "She needs to rest." "Good," Eli said. They were quiet for a few minutes. It was not an uncomfortable quiet. The kind of quiet that falls between two people who are not trying to fill space with words. Then Clara said, "Where are you from?" He told her. West Texas, originally. A small county most people had never heard of. She was quiet. He told her his age. 43. She was still quiet, but something changed in her. He noticed it the way you notice when wind stops, not loudly, but you feel the change in the air. She asked him his family name. He told her that too. She stood up without explanation and went inside. He waited. He heard nothing through the walls, no voices, no sound of drawers or doors. Just the insects and the dry night. She came back out holding something. A photograph, worn at the edges and creased through the middle, like something that had been folded and unfolded many times over many years. She held it out to him. He took it. In the photograph, there was a young man at a rodeo, laughing, his head pushed back, his arm around a young woman. The young woman was Apache. She was laughing too, her head tilted back, her hair loose. She looked happy in the uncomplicated way that people only look happy when they're very young and the future has not arrived yet. Eli stared at the photograph for a long time. The young man in the photograph was him. 20 years younger, but unmistakably him. He did not say anything. He looked up at Clara, and she was watching him with a steady expression that took a great effort to hold. "I knew something was familiar," she said quietly. "I did not want to be right." His mind was working slowly, the way it does when something too large is trying to come through a small door. "Where did you get this?" he said. He knew it was the wrong question, but it was the only one that came out. "I have always had it," she said. "I kept it because I did not know what else to do with it." He waited. She sat back down in her chair. She looked at her hands. Then she looked out at the dark again, and she started talking. 21 years ago, she had been 19 years old. She had gone to a rodeo in West Texas with her cousin, just for a few days, just to see something outside of the reservation for once. She had met a young man there, a cowboy with a quiet voice and an easy laugh. They had talked for a whole afternoon. They had walked around the fair together. Someone had taken their picture. That evening, the crowd had separated them, and then the days had ended, and she had gone home, and that was all. No phone numbers. No way to find each other. Just one afternoon in a loud, sunny place, and then it was over. She came home. Some weeks passed. She found out she was pregnant. She told no one who the father was. Her family stopped asking after a while. She raised Naya by herself, with help from her mother and her community. She built a life. It was a good life. She did not need anyone to tell her that. She knew it herself. But she had kept the photograph. "Naya is your daughter," Clara said. The words came out plainly, without apology and without anger. Just the truth, plain and clean, like water from a tap. Eli sat very still. He looked at the photograph again. He thought about the child he had carried through the dark, the child who had held the thermos in both hands and listened to the names of the stars. He thought about how she had looked at him when he first knelt down beside her, sharp, even half unconscious. He had thought, somewhere in the back of his mind, this one is tough. This one will be just fine. He had no way to explain what moved through him in that moment. It was not exactly joy. It was not exactly grief. It was something that had no name because he had never felt it before. Clara spoke again before he could. "I am not telling you this because I want anything from you," she said. "Not money. Not your name on anything. Not your guilt, either. I have raised her well. We have everything we need." She paused. "I am telling you because you are here, and because you brought her home, and because I have carried this for 20 years and tonight of all nights it is too heavy to carry alone." He looked at her. He did not try to speak for a moment, because he knew that whatever came out of his mouth first would matter, and he did not want to get it wrong. "Can I come back?" he said finally. "Not to claim anything. I don't want to turn your lives upside down. I would like to know her. If she wants that. If you would allow it." Clara did not answer right away. She looked at him for a long moment, reading his face the way people read things they have to be sure about. Then she stood up, and she said, "Go home, Eli." He went home. He drove back along that same highway in the dark, past the place where he had found Naya in the dirt, and he drove past it without stopping. He drove all the way to his ranch and sat in the truck in the dark for a while before going inside. He did not sleep well. He did not sleep much at all. 3 weeks went by. He worked. He fed his cattle. He fixed a fence that had needed fixing for months. He did not call anyone, because there was no number to call. He waited, though he told himself he was not waiting. Then a letter came. In an actual envelope, with a stamp, addressed in careful handwriting. He almost did not open it, the way you hesitate before something you cannot take back. Clara had told Naya. She had told her in the simple, honest way that a good mother tells a child a true thing, without making it dramatic, without softening it so much it becomes a lie. She had told her that her father was a man named Eli who lived on a ranch about 40 minutes away, and that he was the man who had brought her home. Naya had listened. She had been quiet for a minute. Then she had asked one question. According to Clara's letter, the question was, "Does he have horses?" He did. Clara had guessed so, and had told her yes. The letter ended with a date and a time. The following Saturday, mid-morning. No promise attached to it. No expectation written out. Just an invitation, offered once, to come back if he wanted to. He drove out on Saturday with the windows down. He did not bring anything. He did not know what to bring. He thought maybe he should have brought something, but then he thought that bringing something might feel like he was trying too hard, and he did not want to start out that way. Naya was standing at the gate when he pulled up. She was wearing a blue shirt and had her hair in 2 braids. Her ankle was wrapped but she was standing on it fine. She had her arms crossed and she was looking at the truck the way she had looked at him from the side of the road, like she had already made up her mind about something and was just waiting to see if she was right. He got out of the truck. She looked at him. He looked at her. "My mom says you talk too quiet," she said. He almost smiled. "I do," he said. "Is that all right?" She thought about it for a second, the way children think about things when they are actually thinking and not just pretending to. "I like it," she said. Then she turned and walked back toward the house. She said over her shoulder, "Come on. There's food." He followed her. Clara was on the porch. She watched him walk up with her daughter, and she did not smile exactly, but her face opened a little, the way a door opens when someone has decided to let you in, not all the way, not yet, but enough to show there is light inside. They did not become a simple family that day. Life does not work that way. There were no perfect moments and no easy answers. There were awkward silences and careful conversations, and there were things that would take a long time to grow into something comfortable. But Naya showed him the horses that afternoon, the 2 her family kept on the property, and she talked about them the way children talk about things they love, without stopping, without looking to see if he was still listening. He was always still listening. And Clara watched from the porch with her hands wrapped around a warm cup, and she did not say much. But at the end of the afternoon, when he said goodbye and walked back to his truck, she said his name once to stop him. He turned around. "Same time next week," she said. He nodded. He drove home along the same highway, in the same dry Arizona air, past the same red hills. But nothing about it looked the same as before. The sky was the same sky it had always been. He just had not been paying the right kind of attention.